Hello. I was on 5 milligrams of Zepbound and just increased the dose to 10. And in this episode, I'm going to give you an update on how it's going so far, and maybe give you a few other little things too. Hello, 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 bold, brave, and brilliant people. Thank you so much for tuning in to Zepbound with Ange. I'm Angela Durant, and if you're new to my channel, I want to extend a warm welcome to you. For those of you who might not be as familiar with Zepbound, I was prescribed Zepbound February of 2024. And Zepbound is a weight loss medication to treat obesity, and it is classified as a terzepatide. Now I won't get all detailed with all of the medical terms because I kind of get lost in the weeds in that, and there are so many channels that you can tune into to get that. But I'm here to share with you my experience, and I'll tell you that the terzepatide has two active agents in it. Right? It has the GLP-1, which everybody's talking about these GLP-1s, but it also has another active agent in it called a GIP. And basically what it offers is it mimics these hormones that the body naturally makes. And what it does is it slows down the emptying of food in the belly, um, and your digestive tract. It makes you feel fuller longer because of that. And it also reduces cravings in your head, right? Your head hunger, what we call head hunger over here, right? In these streets, we call it head hunger or food noise, right? It reduces that. So that's how it works. It works on the head and it works on the stomach, right? And I was talking to a friend of mine and I said that if the medication only did one thing or the other, like if it only helped reduce the cravings in your brain, or if it only made you feel full so you wanted to stop eating, that I would go for the medication that um, sends hormones to the brain that blocks those cravings, right? And the reason that I say that is because I've tried over the course of my life, pretty much since I was like 7 years old. Excuse me, I've done all kinds of things to try to lose and sustain weight loss, right? And I know that for me, it's up here, right? Yes, you want to have a feeling of fullness, yes, but I've had multiple surgeries. I had two bariatric surgeries, and those work specifically on, restricting the amount of food that you can take in, but it doesn't work up here, right? But this medication does both. But if I had to choose, I wouldn't choose a medication that just made me feel full, because if the hormones are balanced correctly in my brain and it blocks the craving and me wanting to eat when I'm not hungry, then I don't think I even need to worry about the feeling of fullness. And I'm not sure if if that makes sense to you, but for me, I think I find that when my stomach is growling on this medication, and I'm working on something and I don't want to stop in the middle of working on it, I'm like, okay, I hear you growling. I hear you growling. We're going to feed you in a minute. Let me just finish this right now. Right. And it gives me that control that makes me feel, quote unquote, I always say, quote unquote, normal. Okay. But that's how the medication works. Um, and you probably are very familiar with, or you've heard in the news about Ozempic and Wegovy, which are considered semaglutides, right? Versus the uh, terzepatide, right? So those two fancy terms. But basically, Ozempic and Wegovy, their main active ingredient is the GLP-1. So they have that one thing that they focus on, where with Zepbound, it's the two things. It's the GLP-1s plus the GIP, okay? For those of you who aren't familiar with it. And it works by, again, making you feel fuller, sending hormones to the brain to calm down what I like to call the monster or the beast, who's this hungry beast, right? And so the reason why I was interested in Zepbound was based on the studies that were done. And the studies basically said that the results from the Wegovy test was that, and Wegovy Ozempic are pretty much the same drug. They're made by Novo Nordisk, but one is FDA approved for type 2 diabetes, and the other one is approved for weight loss, okay, for obesity management, weight management. Okay, so Wegovy at its highest dose, the highest level, showed that people lost on average 15% of their body weight, right? But with Zepbound, the at its highest level, people show that they lost 21% of their body weight. So it rivals bariatric surgery, right? It's coming really close to the results of bariatric surgery. So that's why I was excited about taking Zepbound. Now, I will tell you, they both work well. They both are proven to work. And I've had people say that they were on one or the other, and it didn't work for them, and they swapped, right? So they started on Wegovy, couldn't tolerate it well, and their doctor put them on Zepbound, or vice versa. Okay, so if you're someone who has struggled with your weight all your life, or after you had children, or after something, a life changing event, then and you're curious about this weight loss medication, or you just started, a lot of you are just started, congratulations on your journey, and you want a community to kind of plug into, to tap into, you are in the right place. So whether you're on Zepbound, Wegovy, Saxenda is another one of them, Mounjaro, which is the diabetic side of Zepbound, or you're on Ozempic, you are in the right place. Welcome. Excited to have you here. And before we dive in, I also want to thank so many of you. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to keep up with all of you. Thank you so much for leaving your comments and your questions. It's so helpful, and it is encouraging, and it means so much to me. So I just wanted to take a pause and say thank you so much for connecting with me in that way. And some of you leave great tips. You give me examples of things that you've done or tried. That's very helpful for me. And again, the encouragement that you send really means a lot to me, and I appreciate you for doing that. So I just wanted to say thank you. So now let's dive in. You're probably like, Ange, you went from 5 to 10 milligrams. What's up? Tell us what's going on with you. So right before I tell you that, because I want to go into detail with that, in my last video, I talked about my insurance and how excited I was. I mean, I was like doing a dance in my living room because I was so excited that now I didn't have to come out of pocket $550. Now I could get it for $25 with my insurance coverage plus the Zepbound savings card combined. I would get it for $25. And I asked the lady, her name, I thought she said her name was Anna, but I think it was Hannah. I said, are you sure? Are you sure? Because my insurance denied it like 3 times. Are you sure? Are you sure? She said, yep, I just processed it through. It went through. It's only $100. And then with your savings card, it'll only be $25 for you. And I was like, yes, finally, I don't have to come out of pocket. I'm so happy. I have so many other uses for that money, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that was not the truth. There was a pharmacy error. When I called to get the medication, I actually sent it over to a Wegmans, which is like a grocery store that has a pharmacy, because it was closer to me. I sent it over there, and when they got it, they said, "Oh, it's an expensive drug. Please call us." And I called them, and they said, "Oh, your insurance is not covering it." I was like, "Oh, no. Call the CVS because they have all my information. They said it is covering it." Blah blah blah. Long story short, it was an error. It was a human error. She's like, they were like, I'm so sorry. That's not the case. Your insurance is not covering it. So that will be $550, please. I was like, no, don't do that. No. But, it is what it is. And I needed it because I needed to take my dose on Thursday, which was yesterday. Today is Friday, March the 22nd. So I needed to take it because that was my day. Thursdays are my day, and I didn't want to miss it. I didn't want to, miss taking it on that day. So out of pocket we came to pay for the medication. So I just wanted to tell you all that because you guys are so sweet. You're like, oh, congratulations. I'm so glad your insurance is covering it. And I was reading it like, oh, not anymore. So it's not. So I still have to come out of pocket. All right. So let's talk about going from 5 milligrams on Zepbound to 10 milligrams on Zepbound. Again, for those of you who might not know, I'm going to tell you what the dose levels are. So it starts at 2.5 milligrams on Zepbound. Now, for Wegovy and and Ozempic, their doses are different, right? But for Zepbound or Mounjaro, I believe all of those doses are the same. And so you start off at 2.5 milligrams, then it goes to 5 milligrams, then it's 7.5, it's going up 2.5, right? Then it's 10, and then it's 12.5, and then the highest dose that Zepbound has is the 15 milligrams, right? So when I started, I actually started on 5 milligrams. I didn't start at the lowest dose of 2.5 because I had already taken Ozempic like a year ago. I took Saxenda. I had that too. And so my doctor knew that I could tolerate it. So she started me at 5. Right. And I took 5 for a whole month. I reported on, I gave you guys I just gave the last video. I think I gave the update on how those 4 weeks went. And now she prescribed 7.5, and I talked to a friend of mine who was also taking is also taking the medication, and she said when I had 7.5, it really didn't do much for me, but 10 was a game changer. Now I know that it's different for everybody, so no two people are the same. But since I'm coming out of pocket, I was like, I really want, and I just still had at 5 milligrams. I still had the food noise. Not, it wasn't raging, but it was still there. And like the day, so if it's a 7-day stretch, like day 5, 6, I felt myself with stronger cravings, and I don't know if that's because the medication was wearing off or what, but I knew, like, you'll know yourself well enough to know where you need to be. And some of you are like, no, don't titrate up too fast. Don't increase your dose too fast. And I appreciate that. I would love to stay at 10 for a while if it works, right? So I went to 10, and then from 10, so I'm at 10, right? So it goes from 10, then 12.5, then 15 milligrams, but I'm at 10 milligrams. I just took the injection yesterday. And so that's why I asked to increase it, because I'm paying out of pocket. And I was like, I just wanted the food noise gone. I want to feel the effects of this, you know, as quickly as possible, right? And of course, like everybody else, I want to lose like 20 pounds to yesterday, but I know it's a process, right? So with that, I am now taking 10. I took it yesterday, and you're probably saying, how are you feeling? Are there any side effects? What's going on? So something really strange happened, and I didn't realize it until this injection. But last week when I took the 5 milligrams, and it may have happened before, but I just wasn't conscious of it. But I want to share this with you because I think it is a side effect, right? When we talk about side effects, typically it's the nausea, it's diarrhea, constipation, like things that happen with the gut and stomach and all, right? But that didn't happen to me. I haven't had any of that, and that's what I was looking for. But last week when I took my injection, I noticed on the back of my knee I had 2 bumps. They were almost like a mosquito bite, or like a spider bite or something, and they were itchy, right? And I was like, oh, that's strange. I'm itching, right? Okay, so that was last week. It wasn't like anything that I took Benadryl or anything for, but I noticed it, right? And I was like, oh, that's strange. I never connected it to the medication, right? Until yesterday. Yesterday, I took the 10 milligrams, and I got these little bump, like it's like a mosquito bite, or like it covers a bigger area. So I wouldn't necessarily classify it as a rash, but maybe you would. It's not like a bumpy rash that spread, but it's like a red area, and it itches, right? It itches. So it's calming down now, but I have it on the back of my arm, and I had it on the back of my heel, like my ankle area. And I think that is from Zepbound, because it happened last week when I took it, and it happened again this week. And it may have happened when I started taking in the beginning, but I just didn't put 2 and 2 together. So That's a side effect that I believe is from the Zepbound, but it's tolerable, right? It's nothing. Now I read about the side effects, 'cause I was like, can you get a rash from Zepbound? And it says if you break out in a rash that is makes your tongue swell or closes your throat, then of course go immediately to the doctor. But I don't have any of that happening. But I just want to share whatever is happening with me with you, so that you know what that might look like. And it might not be the normal suspects that you're looking for, right? Because I was looking for, stomach problems or nausea, and I don't have that. So that is my update. Here's what I'm learning, right? I'm learning that I can tolerate 10 milligrams. You're probably saying, well, are you hungry? Are you still hungry on 10 milligrams? Um, Today was a pretty good day. I can't say that I was really hungry today. Um, but when I know I need to have something, I was having something. And I enjoy my food. I feel like the taste of food, like the flavors in the food are heightened for some reason. And maybe because I'm not eating all day, I'm just eating like a normal meal. But my meals are really good and tasty. I'm enjoying them. Uh, so I think it's working, right? Right. I can't really tell a big difference between the 4 and the 5. Right, because usually on the first day I'm not that hungry, or second day I'm not that hungry. So I'm not sure yet. So I'll keep you posted, right? I'll probably do another one on Thursday when I take the next injection, and I weigh in, and I'll let you know about that. But I think it's working good. Like we'll see. So I learned that I can tolerate it. I also learned that I need to pay attention to side effects. Any changes, slight changes, I just need to be paying attention to it and not assume that it is something else, right? Because I do believe that that was associated with the Zepbound. Um, Again, my head hunger seems to be better. But I will let you know for sure, like on Thursday, when I've got a study pattern, because I just had yesterday and today, right? And then the final thing is what I always share with you, and that is just be patient, because it does work. And I always think that I'm a severe case, but I know it's going to work for me too. And, I do have thoughts of, wow, you're creating this channel, with the expectation that slowly but surely you're going to lose weight. And I hope so, right? I hope that that is my journey, right? And I believe that based on the studies, the research, the data, right? Not the drama, but the data, that it does work. So steady, slowly but steady, I believe that it's happening. I did hop on the scale today, and I saw a decrease in weight, but I'll give you a formal weight loss update on Thursday when I take when I do my weekly, okay? But I think that weight that I gained from traveling last week is starting to, come off. I think a lot of it may have been water weight, because that was a lot for 1 week, but we'll see. I will keep you posted on that. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Please let me know what you'd like me to create content on. Is there a topic that you'd like, more information you want to know more about? Let me know. I really would I want to create, content that you want to hear, you want to see. So please let me know that. Let's see. And again, I welcome any questions that you have, any comments. So please feel free to drop those in. And I try to answer all of them. There's so many of them coming in. I'm trying to just keep up with all of them, but I try to connect with each and every one of you. And I feel like I'm starting to get to know some of you, because you often leave comments for me. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already subscribed, there's so many people. When I look at my analytics, I see there's so many people that watch my videos, and some of them some of you are return visitors, or you consume all the content here, but you don't subscribe. I would love it if you would just go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell, the notification bell, so that you know anytime that I drop a video. And I usually will drop a video in between the week if there's something going on or something I just want to share with you. Okay, so please go ahead and subscribe. Would love to have you here as part of our community. I love the encouragement, and I love encouraging all of you. Many of you say, and you got this, you got this. And I say right back at you, you got this too. You got this too. We're all in this together. And I always like to say, to my clients, I always say, like, we believe that we're all connected, right? And when you rise, we all rise, right? So we share each other. We share where we're going, what our strengths and challenges are, so that we can learn from each other. So thank you again for being here. I appreciate all of you, and thanks for tuning in. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. I think when I come back the next time, maybe I'll talk to you about the food that I'm eating or the workouts and that kind of thing. But let me know what else you want to hear about, because I want to create content for you. Okay. So thank you again for joining in. Take care, and bye for now. Have a good weekend.